Oh God, WWE isn't really gonna do a title exchange, are they? Ugh, they actually went through with it? What's this gonna accomplish? It's lazy. This ain't gonna get people talking. Wait, Andrade said what? Becky Lynch and Charlotte did what backstage? Charlotte got escorted out of the building by whom? And Sonya Deville wanted to pull up on somebody? Girl!
I know you ain't just here lurking. Subscribe to Pro Wrestling Bits.
Friday on SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch and Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair were featured in a main event title exchange segment that nobody asked for. It was basically set to be a repeat of the Street Profits swapping belts with the New Day last year, which is as lazy as it gets when it comes to booking a title change. In fact, the idea was so preposterous, conspiracy theories quickly sprang up on Twitter that WWE had to be planning a swerve. Something superior, maybe an impromptu match or something, at least throw in a Pokemon card. But surely they weren't just gonna do a one-for-one swap for the titles in a main event. Well, they did, and nobody wanted it. Yet 72 hours later, everybody is talking about it. Why? Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair's otherwise lazy title exchange received a high-octane dose of real life when the segment went off the rails as both stars seemed to go into business for themselves. After Charlotte played a game of keep away with Becky, Becky returned the favor by yeeting the SmackDown Women's Championship at Charlotte. Then the Earl Grey really started spilling all over the dirt sheets as an otherwise awkward and uneventful title exchange turned into the modern day version of Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, two former friends with a strained relationship that has now made its way on screen. A real life rivalry that is more juicy and compelling than anything WWE can write in this day and age. Seriously, this has developed into a full-fledged life-imitating art storyline with subplots. Andrade sticking up for Charlotte with a fiery tweet that read "F*** WWE" has now led to inevitable rumors that Charlotte, who still has years left on her WWE contract, might try to Ben Simmons her way out of WWE and join her significant other Andrade in AEW. Meanwhile, Sonya Deville reportedly sided with Becky Lynch and wanted to fight Charlotte herself. This is the ultimate example of failing upwards, as a bad WWE storyline has somehow led to the hottest backstage story in all of wrestling right now. Tell me you wouldn't pay to see Charlotte versus Becky Lynch on pay-per-view today. Tell me these are the storylines WWE is supposed to be manufacturing, but I'll take it. Wrestling is always better when there's a balance of real-life animosity in its storylines. The Montreal Screwjob between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels was a precursor to WWE's most successful boom period, not to mention the Mr. McMahon character. And as long as Charlotte and Becky Lynch remain professional in the ring and nobody gets hurt, WWE would be foolish to not use the drama surrounding Charlotte and Becky to maximize what's trending to be a very heated Survivor Series match. WWE needs something, anything, because the fact that this war with AEW is even close is a direct indictment on the biggest wrestling company in the world. If the XFL was competitive with the NFL, good for the XFL, but the XFL wouldn't be the story here. The declining popularity of football as a whole would be the story, because the only way that could ever happen is if the NFL lost millions and millions of viewers. That's exactly the situation WWE finds itself in right now, as the decline in popularity of wrestling has allowed AEW to stand and trade with Goliath in a slap fight with, 2 million viewers at stake? That's like the Kansas City Chiefs needing the last second of overtime to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, which, if you've seen how the Chiefs have been playing lately, that might not be out of the question. WWE needs something. And just like the real-life drama between Shawn and Brett gave WWF enough momentum to overtake WCW, maybe Charlotte versus Becky will help WWE take control of a wrestling war that's way closer than it has any business being. Real-life tensions, as long as they're managed appropriately, are almost always good for wrestling storylines. And it's not just happening in WWE. Don't look now, but Jade Cargill and Britt Baker have been going back and forth on Twitter, and these tweets are the opposite of Max Caster because none of these bars sound like they're being approved by Tony Khan. Jade Cargill went after Brittany for claiming Atlanta. Then Britt Baker fired back by making fun of Jade Cargill's chair shots. Not to be outdone, Jade made fun of Brittany's ass, causing Brittany to lash out at Jade for body shaming. Things started to get real when the AEW Women's World Champion mocked Jade Cargill's promos before Jade told Britt Baker that she can't wrestle. Girl! Now you know I love me some Jade Cargill, but I also love me some Britt Baker too. This was a money feud on paper before they started firing shots at one another, but guess what's gonna happen if this back and forth continues leading up to an eventual match? If timed correctly, this match will be good enough to main event any pay-per-view AEW has to offer. And if we somehow see a Survivor Series Screwjob in 2021 in WWE, the special guest referee for Britt Baker versus Jade Cargill could be Charlotte Flair. I'm just playing. Or am I?